Hey everyone, thanks for tuning in again. This is Partnerships in Saas. Today I don't have a guest on, it's just me. And what I wanted to do was do a quick look back on what I'm calling season 1. I'm actually going to rebrand the show. It's evolved a little bit. I've signed a partnership with a really great organization, which I'll announce here shortly. And I want to take a moment and just look back on the great conversations that I've had over the last couple of weeks and months. Some brilliant folks and some really good insights have been shared. You know, for me, when I started the show, it was a chance to learn. And I've learned a lot. And I've had some really incredible conversations along the way. I think what I'm hopeful of in the future is that I continue to do that. I continue to learn and to grow and to have really insightful conversations. For those of you that have reached out to me on LinkedIn and obviously liked and commented and followed the show, I'm super appreciative of your feedback, you know, of your thoughts and obviously of your praise and certainly your criticism. I appreciate that as well. You know, one of the things that has really stood out to me in this journey so far is that it seems that this is something that people want. And I'm glad to hear that. Obviously, I start this with the intent of learning myself, but if I'm helping others to do the same thing, then it's a win-win in that sense. You know, I started, as I mentioned before, with the idea of helping myself. But what I've learned along the way is that micro content like this sort of 10-minute, 7 to 10 minute, if you will, clip has turned out to be really valuable for those that are looking to learn a little bit of something, get some insight, get some feedback, and then go about their day. And that's ultimately what I was trying to do here, was take my own learnings, my own experience, and really compartmentalize them into something consumable and package them into something very, small and insightful. As far as the way that I think about the show growing and moving forward, I want to continue to help folks across the partnerships ecosystem, people that are in marketing and sales and CS, people that are in leadership, people that are just getting into it. And I've had feedback from folks at all levels and in all experiences that have said, just in terms of their own, context, obviously in their own journey, that just hearing from those that have done this already and had that experience has been really invaluable in that sense. And that's, again, what I was striking out to do here from the beginning. What I'm trying to do is help folks get little tactical sound bites, as I mentioned before, but do so from folks that are already there. So think about it as like connecting with somebody who is 3 to 5 to even 10 years ahead of you in their journey and their experience, their career, and being able to learn from those individuals that are doing that work, that have that feedback to share, obviously. For me, one of the things that's been really important is, as I think about this rebrand, as I think about what we're going to do next in terms of the partnership, again, that I'll announce really soon, one of the things that stood out to me was this idea of what's important to me. I've been asked that question quite a bit. What are you really, for? What are you looking to spend your time on? And what are you looking to endorse, if you will? What are you looking to back? And for me, having reflected on that question quite a bit as I thought about this next stage of the show, I'm really for education. I do believe, quite candidly, that we learn better together. And so the more time we can spend consuming information that comes from our peers, those that have actually done it, that's good. I think there's a lot of, and I mean no disrespect by this, but there's a lot of folks out there that are saying things without having done them. And, I've tried really hard, and I hope that comes through in the show here, that I myself haven't done everything. And I'm not sure anyone actually has, but more importantly, what I mean is I'm still early in my career. I'm growing every day and I'm learning and I'm trying to make mistakes as often as I can and then share them here, share them with my peers, share them wherever possible so that we can all get better together. And as partnerships as a profession continues to grow, accelerate, and what I think will be a really pivotal next couple of years in 23, 24, and 25, my hope, my expectation really is that more and more individuals get a chance to tune in, listen to the show. Obviously, I appreciate your likes and your subscribes. You can certainly comment on Apple Podcast. All those engagement metrics are valuable in terms of helping my reach. That's important. I appreciate it. Certainly on LinkedIn, like, comment, repost. I appreciate all that. But at its core, what I am really most invested in is the idea of value. And I know a lot of folks will say that, but I think if you listen to the show, if you get to know me a little bit through LinkedIn, or certainly again, reach out, DM me. I'm happy to have a chat. I've met some incredible people in the last few months. Just know that for me, the intent behind this is genuine. And I hope that comes through in the show. As I mentioned, I'm really all about, as I mentioned, obviously us learning together, but also, quite frankly, sharing our mistakes and sharing the things that, that didn't work. What I don't want is that this show becomes a place where people just talk about themselves. I've been very intentional about that. And if I do, listening audience, like, call me on that. Let me know. Reach out to me. Say, hey, that last episode felt a little bit self-aggrandizing. I do have some guests that get to talk about their platforms and their businesses and their, certainly what they do for their customers. And I appreciate that. And I encourage that. I want folks to have a platform when they're here to share. But what I don't want is this becomes a place where people just go and talk about themselves and share stories that are anecdotal, self-aggrandizing, and don't actually benefit the listener. So again, hold me accountable. Make sure that I stay focused on that fact. So for season 2, We're kind of switching up a little bit. Again, I got a partnership I'm going to mention and announce here just late February, early March. Really excited about that. I'm bringing in some heavy hitters from folks across, ZoomInfo and Sendoso and other big brands. I've had some incredible guests in my first season that I'm going to have back for a second time. A lot of folks in there had a lot more to say. I want them to come back as well. So if you listen this far, thank you. I appreciate you tuning in. I appreciate your feedback again, as I mentioned. I appreciate you subscribing, liking, and engaging. It seems that Apple wants reviews now. Feel free to do that. That would be helpful for me. Share with your friends. And, at the end of the day, what's most important to me is that I continue to expand the audience because I want to help more people. Frankly, genuinely. I believe that, I myself didn't have a lot of mentors, a lot of guidance growing up in partnerships. I sort of tripped and fell and landed in this profession. And as I've grown my career, I found really incredible, beautiful, smart, very willing people throughout the industry that want to share with others. I'm going to keep capturing those conversations, keep sharing here. And as always, thank you all genuinely from the bottom of my heart for tuning in, for caring about this mission. For me, it's important. It's a part of who I am. If you ever meet me in person, you'll see this is genuinely, who I actually am as a human being. So again, thanks for tuning in. This is the kind of recap, if you will, of season 1. Cheers to season 2. I'm super fired up for our next set of guests, conversations that we're having, and the partnership that we're going to continue to expand our audience with. Cheers, everyone. Have a fantastic day, week, month. I hope it's sunny and beautiful where you are. And if it's not, put a smile on your face because tomorrow is going to be better.